Here we go again with another one of these Booneville Bearcats wrap-up videos from what happened this past Friday. Sorry I'm getting this to you a little bit late, guys, but the thing is, I've just been so doggone super busy, it's not even funny. Thanksgiving coming up next week, and then the week after that, the yard sale. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be insane, and I've been trying to get a lot of things done around here, trying to get ready for this stupid cold weather that's supposed to be coming in. And I'm not complaining about the weather right now. I mean, currently right now, as this recording, it's not looking too good outside, but at least still somewhat warm. So hopefully it's going to be looking like that for a little while longer, and hopefully the yard sale is going to go over really, really well. But you don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about what happened. And the reason why I'm using this t-shirt is because, well, look at it, for crying out loud. 100 years of tradition. 1920 to 2019. Obviously, Booneville's not very well known for their math or spelling or any kind of education. All they know is Bearcats, Bearcats, Bearcats. But this past Friday, Booneville took on Drew Central out of... Okay, anybody who lives in this town, if you can tell me how to correctly pronounce it, is it Monticello or is it Monticello? Please let me know in the comments below, because I feel bad for mispronouncing it either way. I've never been there, but I'll tell you this much. Going to the game this past Friday, oh wow, it was something. Get up there at halftime. There's a minute left till, well, I didn't get there at halftime. I got up there before halftime, I should say. Got up there with a minute left, and Booneville is leading big time, 49-0, and I just felt bad. And one of the things I always try to do when entering the football stadium, football place, whatever you want to call it, is always try to look at the opponent's crowd. And I got to tell you, in all honesty, this is probably the smallest crowd I've seen all year. Of course, I didn't go to the Cedarville game, but from what I've seen, I mean, it didn't even look like there was maybe even a dozen people over there, if even that much. I mean, maybe there was a dozen people, I don't know. But I got to tell you, in all honesty, I just felt bad for them, and I think they knew pretty much they were not going to win this game. I mean, going into it, they had a record of 2-8, and I'm just thinking, like, how in the world did that happen? You know, how did they get in there with a record that bad? And a lot of people will sit there and say, well, there's not a lot of teams in 3A. It's like, well, that's not... Well, then you know what? If there's teams in 2A, move them up. If there's too many teams in 4A, move them down, or whatever you want to do. I mean, you know, I think teams who have a pretty decent record should be in there. Then again, I think I've mentioned this in previous videos before. Booneville one time got in the playoffs with a 4-6 record, so there you go. Anyway, I get in there and I start walking to the spot I usually stand at, and what do I hear about? Dax freaking Goff, Dax Goff, Dax Goff. And I'm just like, oh God. And they're praising him, saying he made so many touchdowns in this one game, and he did this. I'm like, I don't friggin' care. Who gives a... He's a kid, okay? He's a kid's going to go nowhere, and the next 5 years, somebody's going to break his record, and everybody's going to forget about his name like they did everybody else. So, screw it. Moving on. And there was a super loud, obnoxious jerkhead who's been there before and sounds like he's trying to be like a death metal singer or something like that. When they played Cherokee, he tried playing Cherokee, and he was super... I hope one day he loses his voice where he can't just say anything at the games anymore. You know, he's almost as bad as that one guy who I talked about in previous videos who seemed to yell at all kinds of things, and I don't know if he's been banned from the games or what, but, you know, if he has been, thank God. That's all I can say about it. Halftime show had the Monticello band coming out, and I gotta tell you, in all honesty, I think they played four songs. I can't remember one of them. The one that stood out to me the most was Wipeout, which that drummer killed it on that one. Oh man, and the Booneville crowd, just every time he killed it on that drum solo part, they actually applauded and cheered and everything. And I was really surprised. And then he had some idiot sitting over where the band used to sit going boo, and I'm like, hey man, don't be jealous. Just because their band is better than your band, and yeah, your band won the 3A state championship, which I say BS on that. I mean, come on, seriously? They're not that good. If I can ever record them at halftime, believe me, you know, Oh my God, they're awful. I think they bought off the judges because they're not that good. But and speaking of which, before I forget this part, the Monticello band, the last I believe it was the last song they performed was Iron Man, which made me smile because I was wearing an Ozzy Osbourne shirt at the game, and I was like, that is so cool, that is awesome. Um, the announcer said the Booneville band thanked the men and women in uniform for their service and all this other crap, and I'm like, oh please. I was like, yeah, like most of the band members that really care about people fighting for our country. I mean, come on. Just a cheap pop, just some cheap applause and everything like that, like they tried to do with Dax Golf. And I'm telling you, man, this Frank Gill kid, it seemed like they really went crazy for him. They announced Dax Golf's accomplishments and all that other stuff, and it's like nobody seemed to care. So yeah. Um, the kicker actually got in a tackle too, which I was very surprised by that. Um, third quarter, people started piling out, which is no surprise. I mean, there was a big chunk of people gone after that. Um, I think it's just like a few minutes in the third quarter and people just leaving, and I was like, yeah, because they pretty much know they got this one. Um, Monticello scored 14 points in the fourth quarter, first time around, sometime after the fourth quarter started, and then I think it was like 2 or 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they got their final touchdown. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. Boonville wins 56-14. Their next game's going to be on December 1st, so no game for 2 weeks. Thank God for that. Usually they play the day after Thanksgiving, but for some reason they're just giving the 2 weeks off. So I guess I need Dax Golf to get all that rest he needs. So yeah. So I'm gonna go down on that. I'm gonna get on out of here and go get this uploaded. And hope you guys will go check out the following channels. Of course, my channel, Documental Freak. Um, Grease Monkey, Reno, this channel, Reno Vega, Reno Wheat, Grease Monkey 2.0, and also Rebel Rocker, Little B Fitness, Bacon Coulter, Raina Price, Tyler 2071, Hot and Fresh Reviews, Betty Price, The Price Family, Sandtube, Amber Cyst. I guess that's about it. I guess. So I'm gonna get on out of here. Got to get some stuff done. So hope you guys have a good week, a good weekend, and a good Thanksgiving too. Till we do this again, which would be probably after December 1st. I can't remember who their opponents are, but they have a similar record to Booneville, so it should be an interesting game. As far as I know, it's supposed to be a home game. Unless all that changes, I'll let you know. But till then, see ya.